All-electric vehicles have been increasing in popularity here in the United States. In 2020 alone, vehicle manufacturers sold more than 300,000 electric passenger vehicles, a huge chunk compared to the 14.9 million total passenger vehicles sold across the entire year. In the future, this figure could expand to include larger vehicles like public buses, 18-wheeler trucks, and other utility vehicles. As vehicle manufacturers begin working with state and federal agencies to provide infrastructure for an all-electric federal fleet, many have began wondering, can the success be replicated in other parts of the globe? How viable are electric cars in international markets, and can they overtake sales of traditional gas-powered vehicles? Traditional gasoline-powered vehicles utilize internal combustion engines, which propel the vehicle forward by igniting a mixture of compressed air and gasoline. Newer electric vehicles, however, forego the engine and instead use a single battery to propel themselves forward. According to data from the International Energy Agency, electric car sales have been skyrocketing worldwide, matching trends seen stateside as well. China has been leading the way for electric car production, with more than 50% of global sales coming from companies like BYD, Wuling, and others. Stateside, drivers share the road with several popular electric vehicles like Tesla's Models 3 and Y, Nissan's Leaf, Ford's new F-150 Lightning and Mustang Mach-E, and Chevy's all-new electric Silverado, as well as the Hyundai Ioniq, among others. Whereas developed nations have the financial resources, geological resources, and support from key stakeholders to build infrastructure for electric charging stations, developing nations have struggled due to the lack of available energy projects. For electric vehicles to show promise in the worldwide economy, car manufacturers and governments must focus on infrastructure development. Direct-to-consumer sales of private electric vehicles in developing countries may pose a challenge due to the lack of current infrastructure, but areas with high business development and urbanization rates may prove to be excellent soft launch points for electric car sales. Prior to the Russian invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, Kiev saw massive success in business growth and emissions reduction after they had installed electric vehicle charging stations across many major metropolitan areas. Electric vehicles in Kiev had proliferated as private cars, delivery services, taxis, airport shuttles, and more. Developing nations could also utilize the already popular practice of electrifying mass transit and city utility vehicles like city buses, school buses, garbage trucks, street sweepers, road de-icers, and more in densely populated metropolitan areas like Buenos Aires, Cairo, Mumbai, Tehran, and others. Low-income countries like the Philippines have had success in electrifying private mass transit jeepneys that have the same ride quality as buses for about the same price as their diesel counterparts. This may also draw manufacturing companies like New Flyer, Thomas Built, and Bluebird to develop operations within these countries as well. As long as governments push green initiatives, companies will always recognize and adapt to the growing demand for electric vehicles in both the consumer and commercial markets. Vehicle manufacturers should embrace the adoption of EVs not only as a way of combating the devastating effects of climate change, but to be progressive and forward-facing, to embrace the needs of an expanding and changing populace worldwide. Electric vehicles are a consumer and environmentally friendly solution to rising gas prices, pollution levels, and many other environmental and economic issues. Changing consumer behavior towards the future of transportation will be incredibly difficult, but manufacturers know that leading a great change will also come with great reward, both for companies and citizens alike.